Okay, so we are looking at the 2025 Goodreads Choice Awards. As you can see, the top 10 finalists are now out. So we're going to vote the second round. And I'll tell you what I did vote for in the first round as well. We've had some interesting changes. Not all the ones I voted for actually managed to make it. So, fiction. I voted for Emperor Gladness, which I haven't read yet, but I love this author, so that is who I voted for, and still here, thankfully, as you can see. The only other ones I'm really interested in reading of these is The Correspondent, My Friends, and probably Wild Dark Shore. I've heard really good things about the names, and I'm kind of intrigued about the Free Liza KK, but I think for now at least, I'm probably going to have my final vote as the Emperor Gladness. I do actually have both My Friends and the Emperor Gladness out from the library. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to read them in time before the finals, so putting my vote in. Next category, historical fiction. I cannot remember what I voted for, to be honest. It could have been The First Witch of Boston, as that is one of the few that interests me, but I really don't know. I've not read any of these. I've read one Taylor Jenkins read, and she's probably going to win, but I just don't know. The Amalfi Curse really intrigues me as well. I think I'm just going to leave for now and come back to historical maybe. I will put here, by the way, if I change my vote at all before the final votes go in. Mystery thriller. I also can't remember what I voted for in this category. However, the good and nice thing is that only one Freedom McFadden book has made it through to the top 10 as opposed to the 3 that were there. I've not read any of these. I've read the first book finally in this Richard Osman Thursday Murder Club series and I quite liked it. Otherwise, I am intrigued by Holly Jackson's new book and I do want to read the Vera Wrong series, but I've not read any of these. I think I'm just going to vote for Vera Wong because this feels like the type of thriller that I would read. Romance, of course, pretty much the only black author in this category did not make it to the top 10, which was Kennedy Ryan. That is what I voted for. I've read none of the, well actually no, I DNF'd the favourites. It was not for me. I would put it more as literary fiction, drama, than romance, to be honest. I've read something from Emily Henry before, but I didn't love it. I do want to try more by her. And I do want to try Abby Jimenez and B.K. Borison. But I think, honestly, the only one here that makes sense for me to vote is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood, because I've read 2 Ali Hazelwood's books now and really enjoyed them. I do own this one. Haven't read it yet. So we're going to go for Deep End, even though I've not heard great things about it. Next is Romantasy, and my pick did make it in, which is Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales. Haven't read it yet, but I love the Emily Wilde series, so I felt very happy voting for that. I am torn, however, because I'm torn between these two for my final vote, because I don't really think Emily Wilde is romantasy. I think it's fantasy. And I want to put something in that is actually romantasy as my final vote. So I'm in between 2 books I haven't read yet, but I love the authors and their other books, so I feel like it's a safe bet. It's either Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross, or it's A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana. I would really like to have more rep in this category, so I think we're going to go with Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. Next is fantasy. My pick also didn't make it through to the top 10. I picked A Drop of Corruption, which is a sequel to The Tainted Cup. I haven't read Drop of Corruption yet, but I loved The Tainted Cup. I was very torn with my vote for this one, though. I could have easily picked plenty of other options. It was really tight. And thankfully, some of my other options are here. I do have Catabasis, Watermoon, The Sirens. In fact, I have every single one of these books on my shelves, apart from Alchemy of Secrets and the Brandon Sanderson book. However, the only ones I've read is The River Has Roots and Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. And for me, River Has Roots maybe I would put as my winner. It was just a 4-star though, is the thing. And I really think I'm going to love The Strength of the Few. I loved The Will of the Many. So I think because the 2 I've read are just not quite best fantasy of the year for me, And I may get to The Strength of the Few this year as well. I may also get to Catabasis as well, because I do have that one. I would like to get to that one soon, possibly before the finals. But I think for now, I'm going to go with The Strength of the Few. Next category is sci-fi. My pick also didn't make it, which was Hammerjang Look, which was not a surprise. I don't think it's a very popular book. I really enjoyed it, but it is also a 4-star book. I only voted for it because it was the only book I had read. And I liked it. I do, however, have Automatic Noodle as an audio arc, and I would like to get to that one before the finals. I'm really interested in Of Monsters and Mainframes because it's sci-fi Dracula and it's queer. I want to do this with my book club at some point. And I'm interested in... oh, actually, I've got an arc for The Compound as well, which sounds really up my alley. I love reality TV stuff. And Death of the Author is one that I do also have physically and would really like to get to. I think I'm gonna go with Death of the Author for now, because this is the one that has interested me the most out of everything in the sci-fi category. Okay, next we have horror. Surprise, surprise! My vote did not make it. I put Blood on Her Tongue, because that, so far at least, I have maybe about 5 books left to read. Blood on Her Tongue is so far a 5-star. And it didn't make it to the top 10, and I'm really surprised about that. I'm more surprised about Hungerstone making it to the top 10, because, as you'll see, wasn't a big fan of that one. The rest don't really surprise me all that much. Currently reading Buffalo Hunter Hunter, it's just not quite hitting for me, unfortunately. I loved Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. I haven't got to The Bewitching yet. I haven't got to The Lamb yet, and I'm honestly kind of hoping it's going to be a 5-star for me, and I'll love it. Really love Possession of Albedeas, really liked Play Nice, haven't got to We Love You Bunny yet, hated Never Flinch. I think for me, I'm going to have to vote Bat Eater, which is not my favourite horror book of the year, but I would not be mad at this one. So, next category, debut novel. My choice actually did make it through to top 10, so we're going to vote for it again. When the Tides Held the Moon by Vanessa Vida Kelly. Love me some queer, cozy fantasy with a circus theme. Next, we have audiobook. I'm just not voting in this one because screw the audiobook category. What did I vote for in YA fantasy? I voted for Hazelthorn, and I am sticking with that vote. Have I read it yet? No. But I adore Don't Let the Forest In. It's one of my favourite books of the entire year, so there's no way I'm not voting for Hazelthorn. I really enjoyed Rebel Witch, but it wasn't as good as the first book for me. Didn't massively enjoy Our Infinite Fates. Hated Heavenly Tyrant. Bargain is on my to-read list, as is Wings of Starlight. And of course, I do own Sunrise and the Reaping. I just haven't got to it yet, but it's probably going to win. It doesn't need my vote. So, Hazelthorn, it is. YA fiction. I actually can't remember what I voted for, but I do know it didn't make it to the top 10 because I would have remembered as soon as I saw it. So I am just going to vote for the only other book on here that I've read, and it is one I liked. So I am not Jessica Chen. That is what we're voting for. Non-fiction. I have read exactly none of these. However, I am going to stick with my initial vote, which is One Day Everyone Will Have Always Been Against Us, because I do want to read this one, and it sounds good, and I've heard it's good. A couple others that I'm vaguely intrigued in. Everything is Tuberculosis, and The New Age of Sexism, maybe The Girl on Girl as well, but yeah, nothing else really that interested in. So, memoir, sorry, is next. The one I voted for didn't make it, which was Raising Hair. I thought that one sounded really interesting. Ugh. I technically could read the Malala one because it's in my library, but I'm not that bothered. I'm just gonna be really not objective and vote for Tim Curry's memoir because I love Tim Curry. Next category, well, last category, history and biography. I want to read none of these books except one, and it's still here. So Jane Austen's Bookshelf, in you go. And there we go, that's my votes for the final Goodreads. You may have seen I may have changed a couple, but otherwise, that's it. That's what I'm voting for. My final votes, we'll find out what they are when the winners come out on December the 4th.